than that. Can't get any bigger than that. That high is bigger than any artificial drug on the planet. Is to be able to help, be of service, and then see though that human being look at me and go, I live because of something you did. So that's where I've been, and that's where I'm going. I'm gonna take you with me.
Yes.
There ain't no Black Star Line about it.
Black Star Line.
I don't have to do it. I am working on something that it is a very big deal. And you'll hear about that, and that's when people really are gonna be tripping, because they're gonna be like, wait a minute, we didn't know about that. So I'm just taking my brand here, coming back, letting you know the brand you're familiar with. You're familiar with me being an actor.
That's right.
Not familiar with me being a producer. But then when I hit you what I'm really doing, then it'll be clear. That's the problem. I'm not mad at anyone who has achieved a PhD or even a GED, but to be aware of something and not support it, like the Pan-African Film Festival, but you break your neck to go see Justin Bieber, that's on you. That's on you. I'm not mad at Justin Bieber. He's a kid. But I'm just looking at people's priorities. And that's an individual choice. My choice is clear. I love my people even when my people don't love me. It don't matter. I'm an African American man. Who is my friend?
You need to be with us at Fort Greene.
So all this conversation about all this homophobic and all this bull Twinkie,
Yes.
it's like, now how would God bring this man to me when the last time I saw you were in Brooklyn, we both lived in Fort Greene, and you sit here taking pictures of me on the red carpet? That's not coincidence. Now, I don't need to bring him up here to prove anything, because you know I don't have to prove a doggone thing. I ride the way I ride. But I think it's important that people understand that every time I reach out, it's coming from a real person that I love and respect. And something horrible happened. And when he told me, and I can't tell it because the documentary is going to come out and the world will know. So this is living proof of why I have no fear about the lies. Because this man knows me and has been my inspiration. And I'm not going to cry on this doggone red carpet right now.
Please,
so,
can you cry?
That's all I got to say on that. Man.
A hug?
I mean, what's the story, bro? So you live here now?
I just got here.
Thank you for your information, man. You don't have no paper, no nothing, no pen.
Okay, great. I know a little bit.
I think they actually started on.
This is crazy. I can't believe you would show up. Are you going to be here Sunday?
I'm going to be showing it Sunday again at 12:15. Tonight at 6:15.
I got to see it. This is what I want to tell you. He said it's the coldest piece. That's you.
That's me.
Yeah, I think.
You throwing me off. I didn't say it. You don't go nowhere. Bobby was telling me. Come on. He was telling me about your piece. And I didn't even know it.
Alton, are they going to dim the lights and let us talk?
This thing.
Here's my ticket. I can't miss it.
Come on in. No, G. Hey, brother. Come on in. Come on. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Don't get in there. We want to start this thing. We want to start this thing. This thing. So, Bob, what was
Question? Oh. First of all, I want to commend you both actors for doing such a marvelous job. Great movie. I enjoyed it. How hard was it both for you to prepare for this film as far as the research and then staying in character because of such a traumatic experiences that we all faced over a decade ago in preparing for this movie?
I think this is something that it came by surprise for us, to be honest. And I know Isiah has his own story of how he came about the film. The film came about. I booked this film through Skype, actually, which is a funny part. But as far as staying in the character, I have to say I had to do a lot with a lot of character study. The setting, we were in New York. We were in Staten Island? Staten Island, through Staten Island for months. It's raining, it's cold. We're in the woods. It's sad. I have no friends there. I'm living by myself, you know. So at a time like that, that's when I got to zero in on my character and really take it seriously. And when you're acting with this guy, honestly, this is a veteran in the game, guy. Years and decades. So with that being said, I'm basically just taking that and sponging up everything I can from this guy, and I can't slip, so I gotta stay. As long as he's in it, I'm in it. So that's my side.
Okay.
I read 2 books. I received a wonderful missive that was written to me. I almost missed out on this God-given opportunity because I was very ignorant on how to use Facebook at the time. I thought that whenever you got on Facebook, whatever messages you received, that was it. I didn't know that you could scroll and flip pages. So this whole new world was open to me when my wife said I was an idiot. You need to look back, there's other pages to this thing, and that's when I actually found this last attempt to get me to participate with this wonderful opportunity, this piece of art. I don't look at this as a box office film, guys. We didn't make it to make $200 million. We made it so it can live as long as the Twilight Zone. And you can look at it over and over again. I just saw something yet again. About my 10th time seeing it, I saw something different. You know, but after reading the actual life of the actual John Allen Muhammad himself, her book Scared Silent, and then reading Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky, those are my only 2 research things that I was allowed to use because I didn't have enough time. You know, he was cast really, really fast. By the time they found me, they were ready to go. I never had a script. When I went to Alexander Morris's website, all I saw was this incredible different array of work and trailers that I assumed, because I was moving so fast, I assumed were trailers of feature films that he'd done. I had no idea it was just shorts. Until 3 weeks of shooting, the scene where he actually shoots the barkeep, we were 3 weeks in, and his wife came up to me thanking me, saying, "Oh my, Mr. Washington, thank you so much. We spent our life savings of $40,000, you know, to put into the pot to get this movie started. We started with maybe $100,000 and topped out at maybe $750 by the time it was done." And that was how it happened. And she said, "This is his first movie." And I said, "Excuse me?"
He was blown away. You were blown. I remember that day. He was like, he came and found me. He was like, "You know, this is his first movie."
I said, this guy has a camera. He has no patience, zero tolerance for people who don't get it. He's got the camera on his shoulder, like how I've seen Steven Soderbergh work, who I've worked with, but out of sight. How I know he works, and how I've read that Jimmy Cameron was giving us Avatar and Titanic. This man is on his knees with a what's the big camera now? The Era. Alexa. That's a $400,000 camera, something like that. It's a Lamborghini, basically. And it's very, very heavy. And this man is on his knees shooting the scene of the man bleeding out and him taking the money. He shot that himself. He shot every little intricate part that I couldn't see. He shot it himself. So I saw this man working like a veteran, an artist that I joined forces with because he's an artist, and I wasn't wrong. At least I don't think I was wrong. Working differently, not reading a script. We didn't have a script until we got to New York together. So I signed on to this film completely different, like I've never approached work, and I still like it that way. I still like people reaching out to me on Facebook and just showing me their script and let me decide if it hits me in my gut. And if it hits me in my gut, then I'm committed to that person, and I expect that person to be committed to me, and that's how it happened.
Okay, so I'm a journalist, and I just want to say I see about 800-900 films a year. And I put this in Best Films of the Year, my column, Best Films of the Year. It's so fabulous. And
Thank you.
I gave a shout out. I'm so happy that Pat has shown it. That's
Thank you so
comment.
much.
The question
Thank
is,
you.
what, and performances are exquisite in the film. What was he like as a director? What kind of direction did he give?
Thank you. I've been waiting on a question like that.
What was
Okay.
that?
To be from my perspective, being that there was a bit of a language barrier there because he is very fluent in French, not so fluent in English. So a lot of things we kind of just took off trusting each other, and that's kind of my take. I know you had a different relationship because he had a totally different character scheme and everything to come up with.
He was very Alexander, and what our third installment is going to be, as he grows, he's got an agent at CAA now. RFI Porto has an agent at Abrams now. They're big shots now, and I'm still on Facebook. But I like it like that. I don't like the middleman anymore because I think at the end of the day, people want to talk to me, not somebody else representing me, and then probably be more mean than I could actually be. That's a joke. That is a joke. But we're working on Alexander Mordow is going to come back with another film called Macbeth in Africa, and hopefully it's going to be whatever that means, bigger and brighter or whatever. But it's a big film, so I'm looking to be Macbeth, to go even deeper and darker and heavier. But that's where we are. But I got to tell you, at Sundance, I had to really stop comparing Alexander Morris to Stanley Kubrick. And when I was doing this so much, he looked at me and he says, well, I'm actually I'm actually more personable than Kubrick. I said, you think? I mean, the guy is a walking. In my phone, I have him Alexander the Genius. I don't want him to do anything else but direct films because he understands it so well. And I will work with him until the day I die. Fact check me on HuffPost Live with Mark Lamont Hill. He was like, Dr. Burke, who? He literally didn't know. He doesn't have television, so he didn't know about any of the film I'd ever made. The only thing that he looked at over and over and over again was true crime and clockers. So I went into probably the most pure situation as an artist that I could ever ask for. And that is why I'm so proud of this film, is because we were making art that actually hopefully would turn out to live up to be a timeless film.
All right.
Yeah, Isaiah, thank you.
That actually knew John Allen Muhammad, that actually shopped in Home Depot with him before he was staking it out, that actually knew him at the YMCA, and these beautiful people who happen to be Caucasian. You weren't there, but ask me and the directors, like, they were upset that we didn't put more of the friendly side of John Allen Muhammad, even after they had been victimized by this man. They walked away going, but what about talking about how I loved him? One woman said. Another woman said, that's not the man I know. I know he did these things, but I still can't reconcile that he could have done these things. He and that young man was so sweet. I know this man. I thought me and the director were going to be tarred and feathered. And we weren't going to get out of that theater when they opened their mouths. And what they said was, we didn't know what to expect, but thank you